I'm just gonna do a short video on the 125. I've been fighting the algae like crazy. It's really coming together finally. It was a blackout for 4 days, then another blackout for a couple days. It's just, and it got a hold of the tank. It got ahead of me and I couldn't catch up. So I had to do the blackouts. And then I got Dustin's lights and things are starting to improve. I lost several plants due to being choked out by the algae. My Langandria is all but gone. I see some new sprouts coming, so I'm hoping it'll recover. The crypts took a real beating. The Ludwigia repens has not done well at all in this tank, but I see some hope now that Dustin's standard double is running on this end, along with the current USA satellite, the Planet Plus. I'm running it also on this side. It's a 48-inch bar. Angels are looking lovely as always. This tank got all the quarantine fish from Denver 2 weeks ago, so it has rainbows in it. Let's hope whatever was going on is fixed and it was just the grounding rod. The reservoirs I picked up are still in quarantine. I had a couple losses in that tank, so they're under antibiotics, and they're also really tiny, so they're probably going to have to grow out in quarantine. Oh, and there is one of my favorite new fish. And boy, they love this tank. Get in there. Somebody move. One of the turquoise. There it is. That's one of the pair of electric blue rams I have. The ones that spawned in quarantine. They're going to get to stay in here until I get their 40 long set up. But now I'm setting up a tank for electric blue Jack Dempsey's that I have coming this week. I hope to show you that tank tonight. It's going to be a little bit before I show you. Not much is going on in it. Just wanted to see what you guys thought of the setup. I know I broke some rules with it, but I just can't do it any other way. So anyway, wanted you to see the tank. Down here I have a male pleco standing guard. I think he spawned with all three of the females in here. One of them is a long fin blue-eyed albino. I don't see her right offhand, but I did get a picture and I'm going to post it in another post. Anyway guys, peace and love. The tank's finally starting to come together. I'm not completely happy yet. There's the other ram. They love this Valencia. Or no, this is the Java fern Wendelab tree. It's really come in. It looks huge. Peace and love. Hey guys, I wanted to come back to this tank real quick. I wanted to show you some things. I have been fighting algae in this tank. That was my first problem. I have left that back area right there. It's just hard to get to, and it just really isn't bothering anything. That's blue-green algae, so it's not going to be a major problem. Now this stuff you see down here that looks like brown algae, I'm going to zoom in for you. That is actually mosses, as in 6 different tissue cultures: flame moss, Christmas moss, weeping Christmas moss. Then there's also 4 portions of willow moss, and then there's the subwassertang, and now there's some nobilius, some Festus nobilius. Now most of that has stayed in place. I do see a lot of pieces where they have come off, and that stuff is, well, it is tank herpes. Once you get it in, you can't get it out. I'm looking for a old-fashioned diatom filter now. I've found a couple of them. I'm just almost a little leery to buy them because they're discontinued and it doesn't look like there's a new model coming. So I'm not sure if I want to spend that kind of money and not be able to get replacement parts. Anyway, but I think it might be the only thing that fixes this problem. I do have a little bit of brown algae left too. That's going away. There is a filtering issue here. This is filtered by one of Joey's designs from the DIY, King of DIY. I love the filter, it's great. It does a really good job biologically, and it keeps the surface sparkling clean. You see it back there, it's one of his homemade overflows. And oh, there's the crenum too, by the way, guys. There's the tans. And back in here is the calamastrata. I'm still fighting some algae issues, but it's getting better anyway. But I wanted to let you know what all the floaties are. This tank's big drawback is it does not filter detritus. I have to keep it filtered. I pretty much do a quick vacuum over this every day. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out some way to improve that without having it a whirlpool in there for the fish. Swords are really starting to come along. Look at the red on that ocelot. This, if you can see it, is the filter. And of course you can't because I have had to put up tin foil. It's basically a trickle filter, and then I have a fluidized media going in the sump. That sump is holding about 30 gallons of water, and then there's also a taro planted in there, and it's really efficient. I'm ramping it up right now because the electric blue Dempsey's tank is going to be also plumbed into this. I'm going to practice unsafe aquarium sex, unfortunately, with these fish. I'm out of filters, and I don't want to risk basically $200 worth of fish on lousy filtration. Anyway, peace and love, guys. I'll continue the tour probably tomorrow night, and it'll probably be up and running Tuesday morning. A very cramped video. I have very little room between my rows of aquariums in my room right now. I'm going to change the layout a little bit, but it's a lot of work to move two 55-gallon aquariums. So it's probably going to wait until some other things get done. This is my plant grow out tank. It started as a plant grow out fertilizer test tank. And then I needed a quarantine tank. So the testing stopped, the quarantine came, the plant stayed. The algae is continuing because this tank sets in front of a south-facing window, so this tank has full south light for 6 hours of the day. Kind of like being in a greenhouse, Dustin, just a little bit. I think you could recognize this. Anyway, this is one of my tissue culture plants that I got, and it's being eaten by hair algae. I have to get that out of there. I love this plant. It's purple mugwort. Not sure why it's purple. Maybe later. I don't know, but it's just stunning. I had to get off my knees. I don't do that anymore. I'm kind of old. I've got a little bit left of my chain sword. I sent off pretty much the rest of that pot off to Doc for his aquarium. That thing was so stunning. It needed that. It was exactly what he was looking for. I hope it works for him. I got quarantine in here. I have rummy nose, and I have 2 blue rams, the wild type, and then I have what they're calling candy cane tetras. They're a hybrid fish. By the looks of them, I am thinking, and they just went into my jungle of hair algae, and I've already removed it once today. Let's see if I can get someone to come out here. Oh, that's a CPD baby. One got left in here, so we used him as part of our test subject. He is a fry that made it through our fertilizer. So that was test number 1. Oh, there's one. I'm pretty sure they're a cross between a Bleeding Heart Navan Rio, but I'm not sure. There's one of the blue, there's both of the blue rams. They've paired off, and I just redid some plants and stuff in here for the other tank that I'm doing for the electric blue Jack Dempsey's, so they're having to reconnoiter because I think I took their breeding spot. But I'm going to put another pot back there, and I've got to thin some jungle val out of another tank. This is going to be a really long video. I think I am going to just keep it in pieces again. I was going to try editing it all together, but I'll play with that another day. Peace and love, guys. Just some of the things I'm growing. The mugwort. I've got an unidentified crypt here. I believe it's undulata red. I've got a piece of giant sage. This is one of the named versions, and I can't think of which one it is. It starts with a C. It's a little shorter one. I've got my Tillanthera cardinalis. This was actually sold as a tissue culture, and it was labeled temple plant, and it was labeled the other name for Tillanthera, Renicky. Same thing as the mini, but not the mini version. But I've never seen it called temple plant before. There's also floating up in here somewhere, I hope it may have melted too. There's some erectus and some S repens floating. And sorry for the mess. It's algae every day. I go in, I clean it out, it's back in the morning. This tank is just sand and dirt and gravel, and it's all mixed. There's dirt on the top. It's made to grow jungle val.